Look, I've said this a million zillion times. One of my favorite Bills ever. Only because, when we were in the locker room and we would bust on him when he was playing in Buffalo and have some fun with him, he always played along. He always played along, man. Stevie Johnson joins us. Great to see you, brother.
Well, thanks for having me on, man. Yeah, hey, I appreciate the time. It's always good because I understand you got to do your job, and it's a part of what we do to provide for the fans. So yeah,
Absolutely,
what
man.
we do.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, in advance.
Same to you, family.
Okay, so let's get this out of the way. So, Thanksgiving for you. What's it gonna look like? What's your table gonna look like? What are you gonna ingest
Yeah, no,
at Thanksgiving?
I always have a mountain of food on for that first one. I say I'm gonna go a little bit at a time, and then I look down and I got everything on the plate. It's stacked up a couple inches, and then yeah, it's good though. I got family around, and what I'm looking forward to is the candy yams with
Yeah.
you put the marshmallows on yours or what?
No, but that sounds so good.
Yes, you gotta do it this year now.
Okay. What's the rest of your spread look like?
Yeah, we got everything. We got turkey, we got the chicken, we got the fried turkey, we got dressing, we got the greens. The greens is bomb. That's low
Oh,
key one of my favorites too. The collard
love
greens.
love collard greens, man.
Yeah, the fam come out here from the Bay Area with pies. We got sweet potato pies. Like I don't make none of it, boo. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna capture none of y'all and none of the viewers and listeners. I don't make nothing in there. But I take care, like I take out the trash, you feel me? I make sure it's clean for the cooks. You know what I mean? Like I do the little things so that they can do what they do.
I
And
feel that.
we all got a part in this.
I totally feel that. I totally feel that because I sit around and I watch football and then I eat and then I got to clean for 3 days. But
Mhm.
whatever, we do our part, right?
Yeah. And we got karaoke. We do karaoke all night. Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
come
stop.
on. Okay. So I did this drill with Connor McGovern from the Bills. I asked him, first of all, he broke down what his ideal turkey dinner would look like. And then I asked him for 5 Bills he would want to be at his Thanksgiving dinner table, current or past. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. Give me 5 guys, 5 Bills, either guys that you played with, current or before you, that you would want. This is a tough question because it's a
Yeah, no,
lot.
it's not. Because it's just gonna bring me back to my guys that I was in the
Okay,
locker room.
here we
I'm bringing
go.
out my dude Fred. I'm bringing out Fitz. D Jones is gonna be out there. I'm bringing out my other receiver, Naaman, and then I'm bringing out who else? Who else we got?
David
Uh,
Nelson.
See, it's out of D Nelson, or I'm thinking of a tight end because I like Lee Smith too. Lee Smith
Ooh,
always got the party started. People don't know about Lee. He's a sleeper. But when you talk about those energy guys, let me see. Like in hockey, you got the fighters, the
yeah.
one that's out there, you know what I mean, to show he was that, he was that guy. He always was either getting a penalty or just doing something a little extra. And you need that on your team. You need that dynamic. So I don't want to leave him out off the dinner table. And I think David will understand.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's move on from Thanksgiving. No, let's not move on from Thanksgiving. In terms of your football career, who or what are you most thankful for?
Um, I mean, I would say just being drafted to the Buffalo Bills. At the end of the day, my career was in Buffalo, so I got to be thankful for that time, good and bad, and the things that transpired there. And you feel me, the love that I got from the fans. We linked up, and we did some great things. We got the Vizio Most Value Performer. You know what I'm saying? Like that's big things. And to come from where I came from, I was special. So I like to get thanks to that.
Very good. You were a Kentucky guy, so I got to ask you how proud you
Yes, sir. The
were
Wildcats.
to see what Ray Davis did the other night.
Yeah, and it's on his birthday. Did you know that? It was his birthday.
Yes, that's
So yeah,
right.
shout out Ray Davis, the second Wildcat next to me to get drafted to the Buffalo Bills. That's big. Then we had Deion Walker also been doing his thing, defensive tackle, another Wildcat, and then first round, the first to go to the Buffalo Bills from the Wildcats is Max Harrison. So it's looking like it's a pipeline out there in Kentucky and Lexington. So y'all keep working out there. and understand that they watching in Western New York.
So you're telling me that Stevie Johnson is in Brandon Beane's ear? Is that what you're telling me?
And something about it. We need to make it official, boo.
Right?
We need to make it official. But you know what I mean? Me, I don't really want to go into coaching though. You know, I'd rather go into something like a mentorship or like personnel type things, you know. But if I had to go into coaching, you know I got a skill set that can, you know what I'm saying, that can be sent down and delivered to younger generations, and they can, you know, be successful from it. So I'll do really whatever, but I'm more into like the personnel and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
type of quality control type.
100%. Well, I mean, look, I've talked to so many of you guys over the years that played in the league, and you've always said to a man, I would never be a coach in the NFL because it's a killer, right? I mean, there's so much pressure. There's pressure on you guys. Clearly, you're on the field. You have to activate, and you have to be successful, and you have to do your part. But man, coaches, the hours that they put in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna have a family, forget about it, right? If you're a
Yep.
coach in the NFL. So I
See
mean,
that? Yeah, you make a good point right there, boy. And I think a lot of guys say that, and then is more so where they are in their life. You know,
yeah,
like they probably either just got out the game, so now they have the time to spend with their fam. And it's like if I go into coaching, you literally not spending no time with them at all. You know, and you got to do a lot of work outside of that. So in that mindset, they're like, "There's no way I'll never do it." But then, you know, years go by, seasons go by, and then yeah, you know, you never know, you know, what role might fit you. And so some of those guys, they kind of don't want to renege and step back on that. But, you know, that's a part of it. That's a part of transition and evolving, you know, and not holding yourself back, because ultimately, I'm not going to lie, boy, a lot of the guys that we done been around, they've been having tough times. I done heard about a few running backs, you know what I mean, some wide receivers. And it's like maybe they was too prideful to go back to the game, you know, because it is kind of tough. You feel me? When you leave. So yeah, they just gotta know that they got another program or a division, and that's where I say I would like to go into personnel for either the Buffalo Bills or another team, just so that transitional guys can have somebody, you know what I'm saying, to rock with.
I love it. Well, I mean, and nobody is a better mentor than you coming from where you came from, right? I mean, seventh round pick. Nobody expects anybody to make it in the seventh round in the NFL. And you not only made it, but you excelled. I mean, your story's been told 1,000 times, but it's worth telling again. 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons, the only guy to ever do it before Diggs. And I mean, remarkable, like where you came from. So yeah, I mean, you got a lesson to learn for everybody that comes into the league for sure. So let's talk a little bit about this team right now, right? Obviously, you know, they were in place they could have won the game at the end, despite all the bad things that happened. They could have won the game, which sounds crazy, but you know, how having played in the game, how do those guys, man? You know, it was the first time we've seen Josh be that frustrated in a long time on the sideline. And you know, he got knocked around, man. 8 sacks, and most times he ever been sacked. Got hit what 20 times or something, like ridiculous number. So what do they do? And granted, they've had this sort, you know, before the next game, 8-9 days, which is nice. Heal
Yeah.
up, you know, guys get healthier. Max hopefully is back from concussion protocol, but like, how do you heal as a team coming off that kind of performance where it was there? You could have had it, you could have won, but you didn't.
Yeah, you know, I would say just getting straight to it is Josh is in the fire right now because he got to evolve. You know, he's evolved multiple times as his career has gone on in the league. He went from being, you know, the young guy who has to save the franchise, and so he put it all out on the line, turned into the ultimate playmaker. That was an evolution from rookie to playmaker. And then he turned into a guy where, all right, now let's put some pieces around him. You put in a few guys, Beasley, John Brown, and then you add a guy like, and he shows that he's able to do that. So he became elite. And then you put another elite guy in Stephon Diggs with him. Let's see if they can go to the next level. You know, let's see if our quarterback can go to the next level. And what did they do for 3 straight years? Boom, next level. So that was an evolution. And it was easy though, because you had another dog with you. Now he's in a position where it's like, okay, he won an MVP. Now what's next? You know, and he's in that it's a funk. That's what we're seeing. We're literally we're talking about the game within the game, you know. And why was he so frustrated? Why is he like, hey, what's going on? What are we doing out there? It's because he's in the evolution that he got to understand. What did we see, Bull, when we was watching the game back, 10 years ago? It was Peyton Manning's, it was Tom Brady's, it was Ben Roethlisberger's. And what were they doing when they got a play call from their OC or head coach and they didn't like the play? They up there saying, check, check, check. You know, we go run this, we go do that. Hey, I want you to run this route. Fitzpatrick, hey, I know we got this play call, but Stevie, me and you on this connection, so I want you to do that. That's what we're not seeing from Josh right now. And that's okay. He just got to understand he don't have to listen to the coach's call. This is why I say this. I don't want to make it sound too, but this is why I say this. It was 4th and 1. And then we called a counter play where you hand the ball off 5 yards in the backfield against the number 1 defense. It's like you got to understand as a quarterback, okay, that's not the right play right now. Let me get to the line. Hey, check. Hey, guys, we running that tush push that we ran earlier, got almost 7 yards on it. You know, that's the evolution that he's got to do. Not necessarily saying not listen to every play, but there's certain plays where, you know, he knows that the ball needs to be in his hand with RPO or, you know, making a play with one of his playmakers, Bull. And that's what we'll have to see before playoffs, hopefully, if they want to go further.
I love that take because you're right. I mean, he has earned that, right? He's been in the league long enough. He's the reigning MVP. He has earned the right to be able to change a play when he feels that what's called isn't right, or maybe he sees something on the other side of the ball. It's like this is never going to work, right? I mean that. Yes, I agree with 1,000% on that. Great point. Love it. What about the point everybody's been talking about? Well, the Bills don't have any burners. They don't have any speed. And 2 weeks ago, all those guys that don't have speed were open, right? I mean, I look at you. Now, you have to tell me which is right, okay? So I did a little research. It said that your 40 time at your pro day was 4.46, and your 40 time at the combine was 4.59. So which are you?
I'm gonna say more the 4.59 guy.
Okay.
You know,
So
I would
so so I asked that because you were not a burner and yet you were effective. And I've been saying this for weeks that you don't have to have a burner. You can scheme guys open, right? I mean, talk to that point. Like there's ways to get guys open.
absolutely. There's ways, and guys are skilled enough, you know, and that's what it comes down to. So yeah, on the outside, of people are always saying you need a fast guy, you need the 6'4", you need the stats and all that because it does look good, and more times than not, it does add up. But you know, when you have that X factor or just that chemistry with a quarterback, it just takes some work on the off season or on an off day to get that connection. And I think that's what the Bills are missing right now. They go to practice a lot. However, how much of that practice is just you and that other player figuring each other out for situations when we need that deep hitch instead of a post corner post or something that was already dialed up, you know? So how much of that is going on? And that's what me and Fitzpatrick basically took advantage of. The fact that players aren't prepared to, I guess, cover a guy that's not necessarily doing backyard routes, but he's not doing routes that's on the playbook that we know every DB is studying. Every day of the week, they go there just to study this plays. We show everything. But how do you run that route, though? That's where me and Fitz understood. You know, that's where quarterbacks with great receivers and they see them moving the ball up and down the field. They maybe not be fast or tall, but they get it done. Jamar Chase ain't the tallest. He not the fastest. He got 100 catches in halfway through the season almost every year because he's got a way that he runs his routes and that connection with his quarterback. People, you know, let's go a little bit deeper with that connection with his quarterback. He's had plenty of off days and talking sessions with Joe Burrow because they went to college together. You know what I'm saying? So he was blessed in a great position. But that's all you need. You need to sacrifice your time and go out there and ask your quarterback, hey, let's spend some time. And that might be something that's blocking some of our guys now, aside from Gabe, because he's already had success with the Bills. So he probably don't need to have that extra talk. But Gabe is in the end of his career, and we got younger guys that need to come in. those younger guys need to understand how to get that connection with a guy like Josh. And it may be a little what do you call it, like uncomfortable, trying to ask an MVP, hey, do you got time to do this for? Because I felt that way when I went to 49ers with Kaepernick after coming off a Super Bowl. He always got media, people asking him this and that, going through it. I was like, man, I don't even want to bother him. I don't even want to waste time.
Right.
And then I saw Kasim Osgood. Shout out my boy KO, one of the best special teams guys, gunners, great person. But he came back and he had a knot on his head. And I'm like, yo, what happened to you? He like, man, Cap threw the ball and it got me in hit. I said, oh, no, man, that ain't happening to me. So I went and I asked Cap, yo, let's spend a couple hours on the off day. He was like, let's get it. And everything was smooth from there. So you just got to take that step.
So it sounds kind of simple that all they basically have to do is, your advice, spend more time together, right? I mean, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Palmer or Keon. I mean, I know, Keon, of course, has been a massive talking point over the past couple of weeks. And what's your latest take on Keon?
I would say Keon, he's doing the best with what he can. If you really look at it, he's the seventh option on the team. And, people asking him to be the number one stat guy. When if you really look at the plays, his 2 to 3 targets that he's getting are unattended. You know what I mean? It's off of, maybe that's my next read. My first 2 is off. Cook, Kincaid, Khalil, Josh just taking it on his own. Knox when he's in, Palmer may be in. That's 6 people right there that they're looking for before Keon Coleman. So, for what he's been doing his best, I would say. You can only ask for so much when you're not getting the ball just fed to you. Because if you put Keon on another team like the Saints or someone else, he'll probably have a crazy stat number.
Well, I was going to ask you, is he being, are they asking him to do things that maybe don't fit his player profile or his skill set, do you think?
A little bit, but not I wouldn't lean on that. I would just say there were certain things I would see, like watching all 22 film. In the backside of his route, it was a lot of like double moves into something, which is basically trying to control that backside for timing so that the quarterback can read what's on the front side. And if that don't work, I know the timing of a double move and then do something else, it will be open. But you don't need to, that's too complicated. Just give him a simple route, like an 18-yard hitch, which is in his wheel route, or comeback, whatever they call it, or a dig. It's certain things that you can do that'll make it look better than trying to run a double move and then come back on the backside and there's not as much space. It's like you can't even run a double move when you've never been giving them the underneath passes. So, it looks bad on the media and all that stuff, but I mean, he's doing what he's being called to. That's it.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is early in the game for him, he's got to set up later in the game. So he's got to set up that corner that's going to be covering to think he's going to be doing certain things so that later in the game he can do other things off of it. So that's, again, I mean, you're the expert, man. That's why we have you on to talk about stuff like that we don't experience like you have in the past. It's really awesome. So, okay. So we've been in this place. The Bills have been in this place before in the last 3 or 4 years. It's around this time of year when they have these struggles. Why do you think that is? That it's trending, right? It's been 3 or 4 years. Every year, middle of the season, it becomes more of a grind for this team. But the positive is all those years, they figured out a way to get out of that grind. So and have success. Do you think this year's version is capable of doing that?
Yeah, when you have Josh Allen, you always capable, of going on a run. And that what stopped the run and why things slowed down is because there was another team called Kansas City Chiefs with a guy named Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce. With that connection is next level, so that stopped us. But when you got a player like Josh who's the best at making plays out of nothing, at scramble mode type of plays, then you always have a chance. And then you add a defense like the Buffalo Bills have, which they're bend but don't break. They give up a lot of yards rushing, but you never see them lose faith, and they always somehow get a turnover. So you always have a chance. It's just about, taking it to the next level in the playoffs. And that's where now I'm beginning to get a bit skeptical because I need to see that connection with Josh and another one of his playmakers outside of Kincaid if he's unable to play, considering his injuries. It's going to be interesting to see who steps up and be able to help 17 out.
Yeah. So I got to ask you too about psychology because look, everybody's human. We've all played sports one way or the other. We've all been on good teams. We've all been on bad teams. And a lot of times, if you're on a good team, if you're not ideally coached or perfectly coached, you might not have the right psychology if you're a really good team playing against a not so good team. And the point I'm trying to make is, again, trending, right? The Bills go into Atlanta, taking on Michael Penix, who's still arguably a rookie, right? So you would think the Bills should win that game. A, that's A. B, then there's Miami, and the Bills have handled Miami year in and year out, and they're no Tyreek Hill. Tua is all over the place, right? Lose there again, a road game, and then here's Houston with Davis Mills playing road game, and those are three games. I think most people on paper would say the Bills are better than all three of those teams. So, long way to the question, but everybody's human. And I think the stock answer is no, it's the NFL. Everybody's good. You got to be at your best. But if were you ever in that situation, maybe not you personally, but around guys that would be, if you're on a little bit of a run and you're playing a team that's worse than you record wise, you're like, oh, we got these guys. I mean, did you ever see that? Did you ever even feel that or know that guys felt that going into games?
Yeah, boy. The thing is, when you are that the best team or the favorite team, you always got the best out of the opposing team.
Correct.
You
That's
feel me?
right.
You always get the best. So that Miami Dolphins team, yeah, they only won 2 games at the time, but they know the Bills coming in, and this is our time that everybody's watching. So we're going to be on our best, And what did they do? Jack Jones, he was forcing fumbles. He James Cook was running down the field with 20 yards, 15 yards, and then Jack Jones come from behind and rips the ball out. Now it's going back to the Dolphins. Now it's energy. Again, Josh Allen made a great play, scrambles out, gets it. He's running down the field to go get a touchdown. Jack Jones again, great play, and he forced that. So it's like, yeah, you go. I mean, they're all pros also, So at the end of the day, everybody they don't go in there like looking down on an opponent or underestimating them. I mean, you just get the best out of them, and it's on you to show up.
Yeah, that is it. It's on you to show up. That is it. End of story. Because if you are the better team, prove it, right? If you're the better team, prove it. Don't make mistakes. Don't give the ball away like the Bills have been doing nonstop. First time in, gosh, what's the math? I'm trying to do 19 years. It's the first time in 19 years the Bills have given up the ball 3 times in 3 consecutive games. So this is not like this Bills team has ever been. And yeah, it's just they're on the struggle bus. But I'll leave it here. They go into Pittsburgh. And man, help me with the Steelers, man. Can you please? Like, they are like so. If you go guy by guy on their defensive depth chart, you're like, how can they not be awesome? They are loaded with talent, but is it because the guys are maybe a little bit older? Is it scheme? Like, what is it? Like, every guy, I'm going down the roster on the depth chart. I'm like, these guys are so good, but they're
Yeah.
not.
That's what I feel like is a mix. It's a mix of young guys and older guys, veteran guys, and they got to find out what works for them because I mean, not only do they have the names, the athletes, but they got the energy too. Like those guys, they got attitude. And then you got the offensive leader in Rodgers who's been there, done that. So that's a dangerous team. And
I agree.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting game because I at first I thought that this was gonna be a clean sweep. These last 4 games, I would say. But it looked like it's gonna be a tough one in a battle for them, considering how the Pittsburgh Steelers play defense with attitude.
Yeah, I mean, then if the Bengals somehow beat the Ravens and then they say, all right, Burrow, you're going to keep playing, and Chase is back now, and now you got Burrow and Chase, then you get the Eagles, and then you get the Patriots on the road. It's like, oh man, like, whoa. People are saying now that the Jets might be, like, for good reason, The
Bull
last
doesn't
home.
go there. No, Bull.
I'm not saying the last game of the season. I'm saying the last home game that we might not get a home playoff game. It's
Man.
crazy.
Well, yeah. I'm already in that mindset. You know, I'm thinking it's gonna be on the road, and that's the thing though. When you got a team like the Bills and they can put up points or they can play with anybody on the road or at home. As we saw, they played not their best game on the road and still could have walked out there with a victory. So, you know, it's this is what we watch it for. This is what we watch this game for. It's all love and entertainment.
For sure, man. Hey, plug whatever you got going on. Let everybody know where to find you, what you're doing. Go crazy.
Yeah. They can just follow us on our socials on X at Stevie Johnson 13. We got everything on there from our Cigar Mafia partners. We got our official gloves, sports performance gloves, and fan hands. Yes, sir. We got that going out. So everything that y'all need is on that social. I try to post everything, and yeah, you know, continue handling business, having fun, and repeating that.
Yeah. When's the next time you're in Belo, man?
Actually, I'll be out there December for the Bengals game. Yeah, I'll be out
Beautiful.
doing some barefoot wine things. So look out for me on the tailgates.
We'll look forward to it, my man. Thank you for doing this. I kept you way too long. I appreciate you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it. Eat too much.
Yes, sir. All right, boy. Be cool.
Peace, man. Thank you.
One love.